What is up and everything, everybody? So, now it's time for the update on our fish tank here. I came home from vacation, and the rocks, the fish didn't look healthy, the water looked a little murky, and the rocks, when I looked down, were completely coated in food. It was like my filter wasn't working. The odd part is, though, is that it was still pumping. So, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, what has happened to my fish tank? I couldn't do anything with it the first day. The fish were just sluggish and I had to work. So the next day I come in, I start cleaning my tank, and I noticed, I was like, there is just a lot of food. It was like my filter wasn't working. Now the filter itself also covered in food. The screen guard that we have on the back, on the bottom of it, completely covered. I'm like, alright, so maybe it's just blocked up. So I take all that off, I clean it. I had to do a major water change. I usually only do about 50%, 30% at the most. This time I almost had to take 100% of the water out of this tank. So it's just on a steady recovery. It's pretty much recovered itself now. The water's still kind of murky, but I mean a couple of other water changes will fix that. But what caused it? So I was sitting here, I was really looking at it, and I realized, alright, so the filter is, water's coming out, but it's not coming out as strong. And then I shifted it, and all I hear is this crunching noise. So some of my filter media, while I was inspecting this, some of my filter media had gotten into the part that spins, and that caused my filter not to be pumping water the way it needed to. So none of the food was actually getting sucked towards the filter. So that's what ended up happening. So I had to do a really big water change. I had to take out all the fish, including the pleco and the beta. And unfortunately, a lot of them were already doing sick. Two of the tetras have died. The big Pilates was on her last legs when I was like, okay, I'm changing this, I'm cleaning this. And I put her in the smaller tank, and the move, it just did not work out well for her. She ended up not making it either. So, unfortunately for right now, fish tank is looking pretty barren. Now, we still do have these fish. So you guys can see just how murky this water really is, and it doesn't show well on this camera at all. But we still have the pleco. Those guys are hardy fish, and they have spikes on them, as it would turn out. And we still got our beta, Houdini. Hey Houdini, come here, buddy. Hey, come over here. And his fins are not getting much better, to be perfectly honest with you. I've noticed though, with there not being all the fish left in here, that they have been doing a lot better. Now we can come over here, and you're gonna have to apologize, I haven't cleaned this one here this week because of all the other stuff I've got going on, but so the rocks are a little filthy. But what I did was I had to put the last neon tetra into here, and he's swimming around in the background. You can see him really good in this tank. And the baby Pilates, there's one left. The other one, I guess, had the same problem since I wasn't here to clean it for over a week. Oh, there he is. Yep, he's swimming. For over a week, he didn't make it as well. That one was pretty small and sickly looking to begin with, so I wasn't sure he was going to make it at all anyway. That's a better picture of Houdini. And as you guys can see, I've got to keep cleaning this. Like, it's got a bunch of water and stuff on it. I've been kind of lazy this week and everything, so yeah. But as you can see, betas are really stout fish, and so are plecos, so those guys are doing just fine. But what this does bring to the question is what do I do now? Now, the filter's fixed, so that's not going to be a problem, and I need to get the beta into, I think, his own tank. Now, I don't want to buy a new fish tank. I actually bought the 1 gallon for him, intending to put him in there once the baby platy is big enough. Now, the baby platy isn't big enough yet to go into the community tank. So, what am I going to do about that? I have a thought, is I'm going to go ahead and move Houdini into the 1 gallon, and I'm going to buy a fry net, essentially, for the baby platy and put him back in there. And doing that, though, will open up an opportunity for this tank as well, because 5 gallons of this tank is dedicated to the beta. So that way he'll have enough room to get around, he won't be super stressed out. But I think swapping him into a different tank, as well as moving obviously I'm going to put those two into this one. The baby platy will probably get a little bit bigger, faster, and I'll get some more neon tetras because we have to have a school of those. So this is also, in this video, you guys are going to see the new fish. And since I won't have 5 gallons of this tank being taken up by the beta, I can get a fish that I've really wanted. And I've seen a few of them. I think they'll be good for this tank. And so, without further ado, I'm going to show you guys our new fish. $27 later, and we now have our fish. I wanted to show you guys me getting them, but they get a little upset when you try and videotape things in PetSmart. So, without further ado, we have our fish all nice and safe, and I don't want to show you guys just yet what I got. I'm going to wait till I get home and then I'll do the big reveal and stuff. So, see you guys when we get back to the house. Alright, we're back at the house. Fish are floating in. I'm going to give them their 15 minutes, let them acclimate to the water. But while they're doing that, we have to put together our micro net, or mesh breeder net, which is what I'm calling it. I call it a fry net. So, luckily it doesn't look like it's going to be that complicated. So let's find out. We got, does it have screws? Maybe not. It comes with hooks. Are there instructions? Okay. So, fit 4 corner posts. Okay. So these things are apparently super easy. Like fish keeping for dummies easy. So it goes like that. And then like this. It goes on the top. Just like that. And then this, which has the 2 posts in it for the hanging these things. This might be a little bit wider than I thought it was going to be, guys. This might end up going right on the front of the tank. But it's just going to sit in, I believe. Not like that. It goes, yeah, these go at the top. And then this goes over the whole thing. Okay. So this thing goes over like this. And I have it crooked, obviously. Can never go easy the first time, right? There it goes. And I'm guessing it goes all the way over the top. Yes, it does. So that'll all go just like that. And then the spikes, it goes like this. So you pull these forward. And then this goes in. Just like that. And this goes in. Just like that. And I'm guessing you bend it, I guess, so where it'll stay on your tank. Yeah. So there it is. Our baby fish's house. I'm just going to go ahead and bend these things. There we go. Fry net's installed. Now let's get it onto the tank. So, I originally was hoping it would fit like on the side, and I guess it still will. We're gonna have to modify some stuff real quick, so I'll get back to you. And after some readjustments to the tank, you guys almost saw the fish. Here is what the fry net is gonna look like, and you can still see it from the bottom. So he'll be able to swim around, the bubbler's not kicking up. anymore, and yeah. So now we got some shuffling to do, which is gonna start by getting the little guy out of here, putting him into there, and then the Tetra also needs to go into here too. So let's get back to it. Okay, so Neon Tetra is back in here swimming around. He's right there waiting on his friends. What I've went ahead and done is I've also, while I was at this, moved the beta into this tank now, and there's food floating around. So my original thought with this is do I want to move him into this one since he's been used to such a big enclosure pretty much since I've had him? And the answer to that is I think it's actually might be necessary at this point to help out his fins. This way, if I need be, I can medicate him. So they actually are getting better, but I'm still gonna leave him into here. And then just like a terrible, there we go. I'm still gonna leave him in here until I think he's showing like a lot better bit. So he should be doing just fine in there for now. And it's almost time to get the new fish in. So the other thing I did here, y'all can see him, he's floating right there, our baby platy. Now this is also, all the water temperature was the same, so that wasn't a huge issue. And you guys can see, we can still see him around. I gave him a plant, something to hide on. So all of this should amount to a decent trade-off. So here in a minute, we're gonna get the fish into here and we'll call it good. It's time to see what we have in this bag. Now I'm gonna need two hands, so I'm not gonna be able to show this to you, but I'll show them to you while we're in here. We've got two more platies, female, for our baby. They're the same species. We've got a couple more Neon Tetras, and if I can get them to sit still, Gouramis, blue Gouramis, and I'll talk about these guys. So now we can see these guys a little bit better. There goes our two platies, our Neon Tetras, and I'm just gonna go ahead and try and get these guys since, yep, boom, that was easy. All right, Neon Tetras going in the tank. Give you guys an underwater reveal. There they go. Now they'll find the third one eventually. He's still swimming around down there. They should all get up together and form a school. Now we're gonna go with our two platies, maybe, and boom, we got our two platies. All right, one more time. Here goes the in, and if they get out, quit swimming into the net. There we go. One's out, and the other one can't figure himself out. There we go. And two are out. So these are females. They should be getting pretty big. They're all going to swim down to the bottom. Now for my favorites are Gouramis. Come on. I might actually have to, these guys, the PetSmart couldn't get them either. There we go. There's one. Show you guys him going in. Boom. Look how beautiful he is. It'll be a lot better once I get the light on. These guys kind of chill out at the top. And here goes number two. Come on, go in the net. This is the one she couldn't catch. There it is. Had to trigger to jump into it. And the final reveal. Oh, he's swimming into the net too. Come on, turn around. Turn around. Gotta get him out of here. There we go. All right. Now let me get the lights and everything back on and I'll show you guys a little more in depth here in a minute, okay? All right, here we go. So we got one of our blue Gouramis, our other blue Gourami, who seems to just be hanging out right behind where the filter comes in at. We got our two Neon Tetras. Once again, the third one, you can see him through the rocks, is right there. As well as one of our platies, which I cannot get a good video of. There he is. Alright. So he should be good right there. The other one, I believe, is right there. Went and found the cave that I make for them. So we're gonna leave these guys alone for a while. I'll feed them later, and hopefully they're gonna do just fine. I'll probably videotape the first feeding and then give it to you guys. So let's let them get all nice and calm down, and we'll go from there. It's time to see if these things will eat. Now that everybody's swimming around, looks all happy. Got all three of those guys are finally schooled up. The little guy actually just dropped food in there. I don't know if you guys can see him. That's probably not gonna focus in on that, but he's like right there on that plant. So, without further ado though, let's see if these guys are gonna eat. Oh, here we go. See if they'll start kicking down. Here we go. One of them took some food. It's probably the one that was already in there. Alright, one of the Pilates. Just gonna go at it. Ah, yeah, and Grammies. Nice. So there you guys have it. Everything is nice and happy in the big tank. Now let's move over here. And I think he is gonna like this a little bit better, because now his food isn't gonna run away quite so readily. There we go. I'll smell that here in a second. We'll see if we can get him to eat. In the background, you can see those guys are really going ham. Huh. Well, there he goes. Starting to notice some food now. Yep. There it is. It's all on the top there for you though, pal. This will work out though. He'll start getting more of it down. Nice. There we go, he's figured it out. Alright. This all is working out really nicely so far. So, there you guys can see, everybody's eating, everyone's happy, which is cool because I was really worried about those Grammies eating today, but looks like they did just fine. They've only been in there for about 4 or 5 hours now and they've already eaten, so it's going to work out really well, I think. So that's the end for this one. Obviously, I'll keep you guys updated. If you want to see like the weird story that's going on with this fish tank, you can go ahead and find that in the playlist. I'll put a link up here somewhere. And until next time, guys, follow me on Instagram, I'll put that right down here. Hit that subscribe button, smash post notifications, and I will see you guys in the next video and everything. Peace.